want to go solo to the movies, before Cheyenne and I met, we both went to the theaters on our own. There's literally no shame. We need to remove the shame of going to the theater alone.
I know, I don't get why that is a thing. Hello everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to the A-List Admission.
Woo! Another week, another episode.
Yep.
Another chock full of movies.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I want to start this off at the very beginning. This is something me and Shine have been kind of talking about, but one of the things that we've been eyeing is that we want to get more fan interaction. So this will obviously right now we're still starting out, so we don't have a whole heck of a lot of fans. We do appreciate all the fans we do have, but one of the things that we wanted to do is try to get maybe people more involved. And so one thing I wanted to do was, me and Cheyenne haven't watched a lot of the quote-unquote classic movies. So like Titanic.
Forrest Gump for me. So like stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that, right? So one of the things I wanted to do was try to go, okay, get all of our fans to send us recommendations for movies that they really like or one of their favorite movies. And if we've seen it before, we don't mind rewatching it.
Or even, again, then we can talk about it and see what we thought, or if we agreed or disagreed. Yeah.
Right, and then it'll also add our collection of movies, bigger, whatever. And then also it'll give us another segment on here to talk about. So, like, for example, Cheyenne might watch Forrest Gump and go, wow, that was a piece of shit. Or,
I may love it. I'm sure I'll actually really like it.
Or we'll see The Godfather again, and one of us may go, wow, that's bad.
I haven't seen The Godfather.
Right, so, like, or we finally see Titanic for the first time ever.
Yeah, because doing this, as we've been filming this, we still have not seen the Titanic or Forrest Gump for me, or what have you.
So that's what I mean. So, like, maybe this is something where we both watch more classic movies that people want us to watch, but then also it'll just give us this segment, this podcast, a little bit more girth in the center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a fun idea, because there could be some great movies that I just haven't thought of watching, or it's been in my radar and I forgot. So yeah.
All right. Cool. So
you
want to go right into the podcast and movie reviews?
Slight disclaimer as well. I am feeling a lot better since the last episode.
Yeah, sure.
So there will be a slight cough, and if I sound a little like, that's kind of why. And also we're testing out again. We're doing some audio upgrades in the coming future.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that. This mic will no longer be here after, in the future.
The microphones are expensive, so I'm kind of pacing it out.
Yeah.
But, so the goal is to always keep upgrading our audio, especially because it's a podcast and not everyone sits and watches an hour's worth of content, or 40 minutes or 50 minutes, whatever this ends up being. And so one of my coworkers, his name is Jason, has been giving us giving me a lot of pointers into what we can really do to perform the audio better. Solely because he used to be an audio engineer, and so I think he's been giving me some good advice.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So we'll go into the movies of the week.
Okay, so we're gonna get into those movies that we did see this week, and there wasn't a huge selection this week. There was just two, but they, still worth talking about. First one that we did see is Companion.
Yep.
Very interesting movie. It stars Jack Quaid as the main guy. Oh my gosh. I'm so bad with names, I swear.
Do you remember her name?
Yeah.
Don't worry, it'll be there.
Yeah. It's Sophie Thatcher. I'm almost positive it's Sophie Thatcher.
Okay. And the second movie we watched was Dogman.
Yeah.
Which was a movie.
Anyway, let's go with Companion first.
I love that you went to go describe the movie.
Because I thought we were going into the first movie.
Well, but we always list both movies. Okay. Anyway, continue. Go into.
Sorry, it's like body blurst right now.
Go for it.
So Companion. Is it A24? I think it's
that
A24.
I don't know.
Okay, part of me thinks it's A24.
If it isn't, again, I'll post it on the screen.
Quick thing about it, I guess. Yeah,
you can describe the movie. Go for it. Give it a little overview.
Okay. It kind of is revealed in the trailer, but the main girl is a robot.
Yeah.
And
sex bot.
She is made for that essentially, but also is can be like you can pick the grade of intelligence they are. You can pick anything physically about them.
Yeah, essentially it's a robot that is made for companionship, but it is also like for sex, and there's a lot of customizations to the robot, so eye color.
That's what I just said.
I'm giving more description. You didn't specify it was made for companionship.
I was getting to it.
Well, and now I've gotten there, so continue.
So yeah, the droid is made for companionship, and something happens, let's just say, with her programming, and in the trailer you do see that she has killed someone. Specifics you don't know yet.
We won't say.
Yeah, so shit hits the fan again, and some like crazy antics happen. I liked it a lot, actually. I thought it was such an interesting idea. I mean, the whole robot relationship thing is not new. I mean, from the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix, or like Lucy, not with Scarlett Johansson. That's not so much a droid, like she is a human, but she essentially becomes a highly intelligent human. But those kind of essence in the movies, it gave me vibes of that first. But no, I really liked it. It's an interesting take on a love robot or a companion robot. Because she essentially finds her own way to become her own person, in a sense.
As opposed to like normal.
As opposed to like a robot that is made to be a certain way based on their programming or their data inside.
Kind of like iRobot, which you haven't seen.
I also have not seen iRobot.
Yeah.
So I also haven't seen the other robot. There was a TV show, Mr. Robot. I don't know if that's.
Oh, that's not a. I don't know if that's a robot.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that either, but
good show.
I just am like, oh, robot. But like I've seen like Wall-E, and
but he has
robots, which is a great movie.
Both of those movies, by the way, have their own personality in terms of robots.
Yeah, exactly. So she has her own personality in it, and it's really great. Harvey, I don't know how to say his last name, Goylin, is in it. So if you watch What We Do in the Shadows, which is one of my all-time favorite shows on FX, he plays Guillermo.
Guillermo. We love Guillermo.
So he's in this movie. But he's just quintessentially Guillermo, unfortunately, but fortunately, I guess.
I think it's unfortunate for us because that's how we know him, and so
I'm like, oh, Guillermo.
So every time we see him, we know him as Guillermo. But yeah, we will get his name right eventually.
Like his character in this is Eli, but I was like, oh, Guillermo. It's Guillermo. So for me, like, I really, really enjoyed it. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. Like, everything you said is basically the same for me. The movie I thought was very well done in terms of, like, suspense, because even though we knew she was going to kill somebody, we didn't know to the extent or, like, who was going to get caught in the crossfire, what was going to happen. Like, the trailer, I thought, set it up well, because it revealed one big spoiler without spoiling anything, really. At the same time, right? Whereas the issue with Flight Risk for me was it gave everything away, and then wasn't compelled at all.
Yeah,
right.
Because it's interesting. Because in the trailer too, in this movie, they were like, she was like, I remember two things, like the day that she met blank, and then the day she killed him.
What's his name
in the movie?
Yeah, whatever. It's on the screen. So I'm gonna go on a little tangent quick before we go crazy into this review, but about trailers.
Oh,
in general, this movie had a great trailer. Brilliant trailer.
Yeah.
Flight Risk had a terrible trailer, terrible trailer, and then I'll also mention this again when we talk about the newest Marvel movie. But Marvel has an history of also doing good and bad trailers, but trailers quintessentially suck now. Like, I think a lot of trailers spoil what is going to happen in the movies now. So a lot of people watch trailers to kind of go, oh, will I be interested in this movie? But by the time they've seen the trailer, I'm like, oh, I've seen this entire movie.
There's a movie that we just wanted to eye recently, and I think we started to watch the trailer, and like halfway through, I'm like, this movie looks great, I'm not watching the rest.
Right.
Because that's my go-to, is like, if I see it and I'm like, oh, I kind of really like the vibes of this trailer, I cut where I'm watching from.
Yeah. I think, and I know a lot of my friends that have gone, oh, I'll watch, like, this one in particular to Marvel, but like, I'll watch the first trailer for a movie, but then as the movie gets closer and closer, they'll release different trailers for that movie.
Yeah.
But the closer and closer we get, they seem to reveal more and more of the movie. So, like, the first trailer is good. The second trailer is okay, it's good, but it's still, now it's revealing more. And then by the third trailer, you know the entire movie. Because you've seen the other two trailers. And I understand the difficult task you get when making a trailer, because you have to take the original movie, pick out scenes that doesn't spoil the movie, cut it, but it still tells a narrative.
So Companion, I thought was going to be that, where it was like, kind of spoiling it, just based off what we saw, and it wasn't, which I loved. But, like, there's a couple of trailers coming out, like, 28 years later. They did a great job with that trailer.
Yeah, because it adds the suspense of that movie, but I still have no clue what that movie's about.
Yeah, which we also haven't seen the other ones.
That one you don't have to recommend us. We're going to watch 28 days later and 28 weeks later before 28 years later comes out.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, like, there are movies out right now. Like, even Mickey 17, the first trailer was really good. The second trailer is good, but I'm getting worried. Because now I'm worried that it's going to start spoiling more and more. Of course, we get to the April release date.
And then there's movies like kids movies, like Minecraft, the Minecraft movie coming out. I'm like, that is is ripped from the movie.
Yeah, but the thing about Minecraft is that because it's a game already, people already know what the game entails. The movie's not going to be any much different than that, but also just add a storyline. But my point with trailers in particular is that I don't know who does trailers, and like I'm just maybe a little plea to anybody that does trailers in the industry is please make I love the trailers. The trailers are quintessential to the movie industry, but please make trailers that don't spoil the movie. Like I don't know what needs to happen, but like man, it is starting to get somewhat ridiculous.
I wonder if it's because most people don't go to the theaters as much anymore, so they just half expected to be on a streaming service now. So instead of waiting for the streaming service, they spoil bits in the trailer. I don't know. This is just my thought.
Yeah, but it's like you're not even so. But then to me that makes no sense.
No, I know
in the business sense, because it's like, oh, if I put everything that happens in the trailer in the movie, then why would I go see the movie? Yeah, or why would I stream it on the internet?
Yeah, I agree. There was a trailer I think we saw when we went to go see Companion that we really liked. Because it didn't spoil much, but it made us like, ooh, I'm excited for this. I don't remember what it was, but it was...
that's unfortunately one I can't look up and put it up here, but like, if we remember, we'll say it. But, yeah. Anyway, to go back to Companion, I think the movie was very well done. Again, it was suspenseful. It was...
I didn't think it was actually that suspenseful, but...
It was suspenseful in the sense that, like, without spoiling the movie, you didn't know what was going to happen to her, to him.
Well, once you find out, with the whole, like, killing thing,
it gets intense quick. Yeah, I thought the movie did well. For an hour and a half, it paced the movie very well.
I was surprised it was only an hour and 37 minutes, because it feels longer, but not in a bad way. Like, they fit so much stuff.
But it never felt like it was too much too fast.
Too much or dragged on, like any opposites. No,
it did a very good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie's an 8 for me.
An 8? Oh, I was actually not going to go that high. I was going to go about a 6.5.
6.5?
Yeah.
What?
Because I'm also, again, comparing it to movies that we've seen this year already and of the ratings I've given them. And
yeah, but the movies that we've given high ratings to deserve high ratings. So from my explanation for my rating at 8 is that out of every movie we've seen this year, there's only been 2 other movies this year that have been better than this.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying I'm a nut for suspense and thrillers and horrors and all that. I've seen better. So I'm like, it's good, but at 6.5, maybe 7, like at the top, I'll give it a 7.
Based on the movies that we've seen this year, this movie deserves an 8 for me.
Okay.
Like, and I mean, I don't know. This movie had...
Yeah, I think you liked it way more than I did. I really liked it, but you really liked it.
Alright, so then our combined score is about a 7.5.
There's individual scores, but yeah, I'm gonna give it at most a 7. I'll be nice and give it a 7 for you.
No, you don't have to do anything for me.
Nah,
this is your opinion. No,
too bad.
You want a 6.5? You can give it 6.5.
No, I'll give it a 7.
Okay, all right.
But on the opposite end, the second movie, Dogman, was definitely not anywhere close to that rating. But do you want to explain this one first?
Yeah.
Or do you
Sorry. kind of dazed because of like how bad the movie is.
It's kind of cut and dry what this movie's about. But
oh yeah, well, give a description about this movie. What is that? Okay,
yeah.
So in the world of Captain Underpants kind of comic style, because I think the two.
I'm pretty sure it's the same author.
Yeah. So.
If it's not, it's the same animator.
It definitely is. I remember seeing the book for it. Basically, what this movie's about is you got a policeman and his dog. They get caught in a bomb, and then when they go into the operating room, the two nurses go, well, your head's kind of destroyed, your body's kind of destroyed. Let's just combine it, and so you get Dogman. It's in the trailer. That's why I didn't.
So it's also in the books, so it's not a big spoiler. But
yeah, but I'm not assuming all the adults in the room have read the books.
But the one thing that bothered me about this movie, in the terms of morphing Dogman, did Dogman, once he became Dogman, did he have paws?
Yeah, he had like
I thought it was supposed to be just the dog head.
And look, it
was dog head, man body. Not hard to figure out. But he doesn't talk, which I get it, dog head. Freaking annoying though, because like Petey the cat, the villain, talks. Dogman, heaven forbid he talks.
Yeah, but that's different because the character's different.
I know, but it bothered me. It bothered me that he had paws, not hands. That was really bothered
me. It's a kid's book. A little bit of a stretch of the imagination.
I know. But, I mean, I get it would look fucked if it had, like, human hands with a dog head, but, like, that bothered me so much. I don't know why.
Anyway, so, yeah, essentially what ends up happening is you get a police dogman officer, and he has to go and arrest Petey, the villain, and he's like a cat man as well. I don't know.
I think he's just a cat.
Or a cat. Fuck it. I don't know. Anyway, the point being is that those two go at it in the movie trying to destroy one each other or like whatever. But it's a kids movie, so like nothing crazy happens.
Yeah, I'm hella overanalyzing this movie, but
way too much. Anyway, so this movie sucked, guys. It was not okay. Maybe from the eyes. Truthfully, from the eyes of a child, this movie's probably a lot of fun.
Actually, I don't know because we had a couple of kids in our theater that.
Oh, the one person in our theater that kept going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
So. All right, little context to that. We were watching this movie, and we either sit on the back row or we sit on the side. This time we sat in the back side.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were in the back corner of the movie watching it, and we had one guy, like literally probably about half an hour into the movie, 20 minutes into the movie, come up with his kid, sat like 4 seats beside us.
Not even 2 seats away from me.
Oh, okay, there you go. So. And then, like 15 minutes later, they both got up and walked down and left. We thought
with their coats,
everything. Then they came back up about another 20 minutes later, then down again about 10 minutes later, and they did that about another four more times.
And I was like, okay, so I'm like, either the kid's not enjoying it. He definitely wasn't.
He didn't care.
He wasn't even looking.
Yeah, he was on his phone for most of the time too.
So yeah, like that experience didn't help, but I kind of go into kids movie theaters knowing that there will be kids. But it was also 10 p.m.
That's our fault. We watched a movie way too late.
No, but it was 10 p.m. Sure, it was a Friday night, 10 p.m., so there would be kids.
There was like 4 kids in that movie.
No, so I'm saying, I wasn't expecting that many kids, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's a kid's movie.
No, I know.
Anyway, my point was, in the eyes of a kid, I can see how this is at least entertaining. Truthfully, for most kids' movies, this was probably the most action-packed kids movie I can think of. One of the most action-packed movies I can think of.
Recently, maybe, but not overall.
Yeah, but apart from that, the movie just felt like it was dragging. Like, I didn't find that the characters were that entertaining. I didn't find that the side characters were that entertaining. I didn't find that the story made any sense.
I think it's one of those movies that's made for kids who like the books already.
I don't think so. I think it was...
I don't know. I kind of... I had no knowledge of this.
You say your part.
No. You go.
I just don't think the movie was good. But, again, I also say that with, like... We're going to go into kids' animation movies later to kind of... Because we were so upset by this movie that we needed to pick 6 different movies that were better than this. That were kids' movies. But this movie, the problem is that it just... For an adult... It didn't have any plot, didn't have any, like, the characters were not entertaining. The story was just kind of a jumbled mess. Yeah, like, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
But for a kid, I can see that they get distracted with, like, the dog man is cute, or, like, you know what I mean? I can see certain things that the kids can enjoy. So like if you're a parent going to go watch this, I would just be like, okay, this is for my kid and not for me.
Fair. Yeah, it had some funny bits, but like it wasn't anything great. I like the animation actually of like when they did Captain Underpants, that movie, and then this movie. I kind of like the animation because it reminds me like it's ripped from a book kind of vibe.
Sure.
But yeah, it was not great. Like I for rating for me, I'm gonna give this like a 3.
I was thinking the same.
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
And the only reason why I'm even giving it a 3 is because of the funny parts.
Yeah, just 3. Like it's not good. It really, at least from an adult perspective for a kids movie, there's a lot of better kids movies out there. A lot, which we will definitely get into. Yeah.
But yeah, I just felt like this movie had so much like again,
so much potential.
It did. I think it could have been funnier. It could have been the story could have been at least a little bit more interesting. Yeah. Anyway, to our second half of the episode, we're going to talk about the 6 different kind of movies or movie franchises that are way better than this.
For animation.
Animation in particular.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do your 3?
Sure, I'll do my 3. Yeah. Or do you want to do your 3 first?
Or we do 1 and 1 and 1 and 1.
Yeah, sure.
You do the first one then.
Okay.
Because I love the first one you picked.
Actually, I was going to switch up my list.
Okay.
Yeah, like the order of the list.
Right. You pick however way
so
for you.
These movies, at least for me, I'm sure for you two, are not in any particular order.
No.
Yeah, they're just 6 franchise/movies for animation that we think are leaps and bounds better than Dogman, but just also like classic good animated movie franchises.
That are not also Pixar or Disney. The reason why we did that is because... Sorry, I wanted to make sure it wasn't a massive cough. The reason why we did that also is because Pixar, when we get into Toy Story 5 next year, we can have 3 episodes onto Pixar. Right? Yeah, really. So I didn't want to put any Pixar movies in this that are meant for something better.
Yeah.
And again, we can have a whole episode on that. Yeah. And then we didn't pick Disney, obviously, for the same reason. Like Disney, we can have its own episode from... And
we probably will.
Honestly, we could have a whole hour episode just on Disney if you wanted to. But so we picked a bunch of animated movies that aren't those 2 companies.
Yeah. So the first movie I'm picking, I had 3 on my list. 2 that I know... I know you liked all 3. But the first one I'm doing is the closest in relation to book for like Dogman being a book. I really liked Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the cartoon one they did.
Not the live action.
There is a live action. I actually really liked the live action too. But because we're talking animation, specifically the animated 2, I think that they did.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 that they did. Maybe 3 now. Actually, now that you mention that, I think there's 3.
I'll put it in the
Anyway, they're not that long, like an hour and 15 minutes tops. I love them. I am already a huge fan of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. I own all the books.
Yeah, Cheyenne still collects all of the books.
All the time.
And even the Rally books or the Make Your Own books.
Yeah, and like, fun fact for any like Jeff Kinney fans, all his books, they're 217 pages. I don't know if that's a contractual thing, but like all the Wimpy Kid books are 217 pages.
Hopefully, his name is Jeff Kinney?
Jeff Kinney.
Jeff Kinney, this is a plea to you. We need insider information as to why each book is 217
pages. I'm
pages.
sure there's a reason, or maybe there's not. Maybe it's a lucky angel number vibe. I don't know.
Hey, I don't know.
But either way, fun fact about the books. But yeah, I own all the books. The movie diaries too, from when they did the live actions. Anyway, big fan. So when I saw the live actions, I was like, okay, yeah, they're good. I mean, good as they can be. I thought the acting was great. So then I saw they were doing the animated ones. I'm like, okay, let's watch this. I loved it so much. It's like exactly the visuals from the books.
Yeah.
Exactly what the movie was about. It's funny. It's the same humor. I also like the humor though in the Wimpy Kid series because it's dry, like sarcastic-y kind of humor. Greg always has this
chip on his shoulder.
Greg Heffley's the main character. Yeah, he always has a chip on his shoulder, and then he always drags his best friend Rowley Jefferson into everything.
And then Rowley's always this like chronically positive.
He's like he will be a brony when he gets older.
100%.
He would be like My Little Pony. Yeah.
I haven't heard that term in a long time.
Yeah, he will be a brony when he grows up. Like he just gives that vibe. Oh, everything's so nice. Like he's just like so really happy happy and like, okay, Greg, I'll do whatever you want. So yeah, for that movie, for me, is a total win. And it wasn't made for theaters, I think, either. The cartoons, they were made for Disney Plus. And everyone they've done with it is great. And for me, I do have, I'm not diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, but I definitely need something that'll keep my attention.
Yeah.
And this movie definitely does that, and it's short and it's fun. So yeah, that's a really good option from me.
To add on to the ADHD or something that keeps Cheyenne's attention, I think that movie does a great job at always having something new and fresh on the screen.
For Diary of a Wimpy Kid, yeah.
So that way you never do get like string fatigue or like scene fatigue.
Yeah, because I'll be like, ugh.
Like, yeah, once you watch a certain scene for like an hour,
yeah,
or not an hour, but like even like a scene for a long time, switching back and forth keeps your mind attuned to it, which is why I switch our camera feeds a lot. But yeah, like that movie does a good job at not staying static.
I think the beginning of the movie is also like ripped from the book, so like it has that like animation. Anyway, that one I really like, and it's the closest to me comparison wise to Dogman because they're both books made into movies.
Then I'll start mine the same way. On my list, I have my 3 movies, but the first one I'll do because it's also ripped. Well, 2 of them are ripped from books, but the first one I'll do is the most recent one. Is The Wild Robot.
Which was on your top 5.
Yes, because it's phenomenal. If you need a movie that'll get you to smile, laugh, cry, feel things, like it is a great movie with an amazing cast. Like Mark Hamill, Pedro Pascal, Lupita Nyong'o. Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita Nyong'o. Yeah, this is another Lily Rose, Depp James vibe.
Different because I wasn't.
No, you're good.
There's also the kid, the little duck in it is also pretty famous. I just can't remember his name at all.
Oh, I was like the little duck. I thought you meant the little duck was really famous. I'm like, what's he from?
The person who acted the Again, name will come on the screen. Yeah. But this movie does a really good job. The animation is not on par with Dogman or Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but I will say the animation for this is similar to like Puss in Boots and The Last Wish or Spider-Verse, where it's like a little bit more on the comic-y side, the editing, but you can also see that there's a transition of the art as well from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. Yeah, to me, this movie, if you want it from the artistic perspective, this movie has a lot of intricate little details, a lot of like gradually changing things as the movie swings from Act 1 to Act 2 to Act 3. But then a part of that is also, this movie is just a beautiful story, man. Like, similar to like The Iron Giant, like this is kind of in that realm,
my gosh.
Right? But like, yeah, this movie does a great job of kind of doing that, those two.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's a great choice. I have the book series now. I think it's a trilogy. I think they may come out with a 4th one if they haven't already. But I started reading the first one. I haven't finished it. But it's like, it's ripped out of the... Like, I can see the movie. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. So, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I know I think they're planning to get a second one, but I don't know. But I really hope they do, because I think this movie deserves all of its praises. If it doesn't win the Oscar for this year for animated movie, I'm going to be pissed. I'm just being honest.
I don't know the other choices.
I don't remember the other choices.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't worry, we're going to have a whole Oscar episode.
Yeah.
Because they've announced the nominations now, but we'll do it closer to the actual Oscars, so you're not waiting nail for it.
Next one for me, there's 2 franchises I have in my list of 3.
I also picked 2 franchises.
Interesting. We picked 2 solos and then a solo each and 2 franchises.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. We did not plan that. But there's 2 franchises that I have, and I'm like, what should I save for last? But I am gonna go with one of my all-time favorite franchises, is Despicable Me.
Yeah, Cheyenne has a crazy obsession over...
I
say crazy. It's not a bad obsession, but it is...
It's a healthy, unhealthy obsession.
There you go.
No, I love the Minions in general. The Minions movies also I liked, not as much as the Despicable Me series. But Despicable Me series, I think, has 4 movies now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All really fun. They're all very different from each other. The villains, I really liked what they did with all the fun villains.
Oh, I agree with you. The villains make those movies really
Scarlet. Kill.
Yeah, but that's the Minions movie. So the first movie was Vector. The second movie was...
Oh, no, it's... Okay, yeah. First movie was Vector. My apologies. Scarlet Overkill is a whole separate can of worms.
That's Minions. The first Minions movie.
No, I'm saying Scarlet Overkill's other can of worms. That's
the villain for the second one is what?
Is it Bartholomew?
Macho.
Yes. But the third movie...
is Bartholomew.
No. Balthazar Brad? Or something like that?
Yeah. Brad. Okay. Anyway, the villains are fantastic because each one is such a caricature of a human being.
Yeah, so yeah, they're great. The first movie is wonderful. Sorry,
go ahead. I cut you off again.
Fine. No, you finish your thought.
All I was going to say was that I completely agree with you. I think it is phenomenal at setting the stage for the rest of that franchise.
Yeah. And of course, if you don't know the movies, you should definitely know the Minions. Yeah. I think that goes without saying. But I mean, the cast in this is also great. I mean, you have Steve Carell, which I love Steve Carell.
Kristen Wiig comes in the second one.
Yeah. And then Miranda Cosgrove is in it. I think it's one of her most recent comebacks, I guess, to movies.
Well,
I haven't seen her in a lot.
But it's one of her most consistent roles.
Sure.
For sure.
There's Gru, there's the three girls, Margot, Agnes, and Edith. Agnes being the cutest of them all. Yeah. Especially in the first movie. I don't really like when they start to get a little older. They don't get much older, but they do get older.
They are the same child. They don't change.
Something felt a little different in the newest one.
Alright, here's the thing. Cheyenne doesn't like the fact that the kids are growing up, even though they're children. They have to grow up.
I know. Yeah. But in movies, they don't have to.
They have to.
Anyway, I love the Minions. As you know, I have a lot of tattoos. I eventually want to get some filler that includes Minions to some degree. Mm-hmm. I just love the Minions. I think they're fun. I think they're cute. I think they're stupid but smart. I just think they are fun. And is it Illumination hit the nail on the head with their marketing?
Oh, yeah.
I think they are set for life just on the Minions alone.
Well, I think that the Minions also kind of are the green alien men from our generation.
For Toy Story?
Yeah, because Toy Story does that beautifully, right? Little green men were everywhere when I was little.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because when I would go to Walt Disney World all the time, they would have the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, and there'd be the gift shop right there. The whole half side was all green aliens. And then the kiosk outside, it was the claw machine on top of the kiosk with the green men.
Well, one of our decorations for this podcast originally was we have a bunch of little green alien men dressed up as different Pixar characters.
Yeah. So they I think Illumination. I think this is probably their first one of their first movies that they really ever did. Yeah, that made notable popularity. I think they did a great job. I think it's fun. And for me, it keeps my attention, but I do know there's a lot of people who hate the Minions specifically. Fair. There's definitely, love or hate. I love them.
My true opinion for these movies is that the first two are great, the third one and the fourth one are not the best.
They're a little repetitive. I prefer the villain of Balthazar, though.
Yeah, I will say that.
I think the villain was great in the third one.
But then the Minions, the first Minions is good. Again, same kind of...
Oh, and the thing. Minions?
Yeah, same kind of idea. First Minions is good, and then the other ones start to get...
Because they have three of those now?
Yeah, it's... Ooh, is
the Rise of Gru is the second one.
What's the third one?
Or is that the third one?
No, I thought that was...
Or is there only two?
I think there might be only two.
Okay.
They might be making a third one.
Whatever. I think Illumination, I pretty much like anything they do. To be honest, though, I'm not a huge fan of The Secret Life of Pets.
That is the only series that they've done that I haven't even resonated that well with. Yeah, but then, they did the Grinch. They've done.
Oh my gosh, the Grinch! We didn't include that one, but I would have included that one.
The only reason why we didn't include that one is because we can go on that when we go into
a Christmas theme.
Honestly, most of December is probably going to be just Christmas theme.
That one will be back with that. Yeah. But again, to finish my thought off, Despicable Me series is definitely on my list of a great animation series, and I think a great boost for the Illumination company as well. I love it.
All right, my second one is going to be Kung Fu Panda. And I say Kung Fu Panda now versus my other one because my other one is one of my all-time favorite animated movies of all time. But,
good choice, yeah.
But Kung Fu Panda is great because, I can always take a little bit more Jack Black.
I love Jack Black.
Always.
Yeah.
And I think he's I don't know. Truthfully, when it comes to comedy, I know that like Jack Black also doesn't nail. Jack Black probably does a lot of movies that a lot of people will say really aren't the best movies, but I've loved him in every single thing he's done.
Oh yeah, I mean Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
School of Rock, like everything.
And I think that the first 3 Kung Fu Panda movies especially are phenomenal. I think it does a good arc of Po, and it's a good kind of overall sense of his character. You get to see him grow from this noodle shop boy or baby a little panda. I say little, not in size, but
which is actually part of the movie. Yeah.
But then it goes to, by the end of the 3rd one, he is just on top of the world. Like he's the. I'm also trying not to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen this series, but I don't think there's that many people that haven't. But regardless, I think Kung Fu Panda is just brilliant in terms of like cheering for the underdog, cheering for someone that's always undervalued himself and by other people, and you see that growth really go from someone who is given a spark of a chance to someone who really owns that and grows from that and becomes a better person from that. And yeah, that whole series is good. The 4th one is a good movie. So the 4th Kung Fu Panda, one thing that I will definitely say for the 4th one that I love so much is Jack Black's rendition of the Britney Spears song.
Oh, that was Hit Me Baby One More Time.
That was stuck in my head for months.
That Tenacious D cover is amazing.
But it was stuck in my head for months. It's now, to me, replaced the Britney Spears version.
Oh yeah. Like, I like the hard rock of it, obviously.
Yeah, to me, it's replaced the Britney Spears version.
Once we heard this, we were like, and we sat and listened to the whole thing.
I think we watched the 4th one like 3 times. Also because of that.
Because it's on my Spotify playlist for sure.
But the 4th one is not as good as the other 3, but it's still a good kind of like jolt to the franchise that maybe sparks another trilogy from
or
there.
Sparks people to watch them, or rewatch.
Yeah, I would recommend it. I think it's great. It is, to me, one of the best animated trilogies out there. There's just one. There's only one trilogy that I think is better, and that's my next one.
Your next one? Yeah. I think mine is also a good trilogy.
That's not a trilogy.
Well, I know there's more, but my last choice is Shrek.
But phenomenal choice.
Yeah, I mean, I was right in the ballpark of the age group that could watch this and like have a lasting impression, because I was born in 1994. This first one, I believe, came out in 2001.
Yeah, I was 97, so this.
So I was about 7.
I was about 4.
Yeah, so. For me, it came out in the perfect time. And, I mean, are you kidding me? Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, and Eddie Murphy. But, I mean, Chris Farley was the original Shrek before he passed. But anyway, I think Mike Myers did a great job, and I'm really glad he chose the accent that he chose.
Instead of the Canadian
accent he was going to do. It is based on a book. As well. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, it's not a long book, but it is based on a book. As is most things now are based on some type of book. Yeah, it is based on a book. But anyway, I think this series is amazing. The music they use in the first movie, when I'm talking about the series, I pretty much am talking about the first one.
The first 3 are not that bad.
The first 3 are not bad. Shrek 4
is the one where he doesn't want to be married to Fiona and have the kids anymore, and he wants to go by himself, remember?
Yeah.
And then Rumpelstiltskin comes in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like It's a Wonderful Life kind of story.
Well, then 3 is King Arthur. 2 is going to...
King Arthur?
Yeah. Arthur is in the 3rd one. Cheyenne doesn't remember the series that well, apparently. So, the first 2... Okay, so I think the when people say Shrek, I think a lot of people think of the first 2. Because I think the first 2 are beyond.
When I say Shrek, I'm pretty much talking about the first one.
Oh, so I think of the first 2 when I think of Shrek.
Yeah. But there's how many now? 5? 4?
I think there's only 4.
They're making a 5th one. That's why. Yeah. So we'll definitely rewatch them. But we will
do a deep dive on Shrek when the 5th one comes out.
Yeah, but I'm just going to talk more about the first one in the series than anything else. Okay. Just because that one has hit so close to home for me. Like, I know you and I can both verbatim
say the entire script.
No problem. But yeah, the music, they got some really good bands for this too. The version of Hallelujah in this is one of my favorites.
I agree.
And I also think like they got Counting Crows, they got...
No, that's the second movie.
Why is it the second? Accidentally in Love?
It is the beginning of the second movie.
Man.
You forgot to mention your favorite band that's in this movie.
Yeah, okay, I know. I was going to get to it. The first song in the first movie that you hear, that's an actual song, is by Smash Mouth, who's one of my favorite bands. Rest in peace, Steve Harwell.
Yes.
I mean, hello. That's how they're...
All-Star?
I think that's how they even got even more popular than they were.
I completely agree with you. I think without this movie, which is sad to say, because they are a phenomenal band, but like without this movie, I don't think they would have hit the stardom that they would have hit.
No, not in the slightest.
But what a staple song for the entire generation.
Yeah, and then All Star is still playing on the radio.
100%.
But yeah, it was one of those like not one hit wonders because they have a lot more hits. But that was the start of them being in a lot of movies too. Like they had a lot of songs in movies as well. Like, do you remember Sky High?
I do. Oh, do I remember Sky High? I want them to bring that movie back.
Everyday Superhero. That's also
so
Smash Mouth. Like, yeah.
Dude, there's anyway.
So anyway, that's how
Sky High was such a good movie.
It's such a fun movie. Anyway, for cartoons, yeah, Shrek was great. I love Shrek. I also think, is it John Lithgow or Nigel Lithgow? No, John Lithgow. Nigel Lithgow is a person, and he's a very well-known producer. But
I didn't know that.
But John Lithgow as Lord Farquaad was great.
Oh, what a character! Love
also, Lord Farquaad. It just it's so funny. Everything about the first movie is great. I think like little things like the onion carriage, or
I think the movie's also insanely quotable. Like, I think a lot of people...
I'm making waffles. Like...
I'm making waffles, or not the gumdrop buttons, or like,
pick
number 3, my lord.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Oh, that whole sequence. Brilliant. Again, we will go way more in depth on Shrek when Shrek will come
So, I'll finish off my little tangent, but yes. Oh, no. All the Shreks are good. Apparently I got them mixed up, but they're all very good. But I really do love the first one, and I think it's a great piece of animation that will definitely live on and age very well, I think, as well.
So, my final one is How to Train Your Dragon.
Good choice.
And again, we'll go into way more in depth when we talk about the live action we're doing this year. But to kind of sum up the How to Train Your Dragon series, like, guys, come on. Well, it's honestly the best animated trilogy of all time.
That's debatable.
No. You can't debate me.
Okay.
And because it's only 3 movies.
If your trilogy, it's hard to also now find a 3 only series.
Okay, think if I had this conversation with you or my brothers. Toy Story probably would have been that for me. But Toy Story did 4.
See, that's what I'm saying. Then there is no competition because everything has at least 4.
They know when to stop. This movie does.
There is no other trilogy that you can debate it on.
No, there's definitely other trilogies. I just can't think of them right now.
Okay.
But anyway, we're gonna. The best How to Train Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon is the best trilogy. Or fine, if we cut Kung Fu Panda to 3, and I cut How to Train Your Dragon to 3, How to Train Your Dragon still wins.
Cut Shrek to 3.
How to Train Your Dragon still wins.
Nah.
Because Shrek 1 is phenomenal.
Shrek 2
is phenomenal. Shrek 3, no one remembers.
I don't really like the third How to Train Your Dragon.
The third How to Train Your Dragon is phenomenal. What do you mean? Anyway, regardless, the How to Train Your Dragon franchise is beyond perfection for me. From you going to following Hiccup at the very beginning to where he ends up with his family at the end. It's just perfect. I think it's just nothing
That's true.
about this movie is just, or about this franchise is lacking, or it dives deep for characters. All the characters I care for and want to know more about. Even the bully characters, I don't even remember their names half the time.
And the good actors, again.
Oh my gosh, what's his name? Jay Baruchel?
Jay Baruchel, Gerard Butler.
Yeah, but Jay Baruchel.
Craig Ferguson.
I think Craig Ferguson also does a great job as the guy. I can't remember his name now. Fuck. Okay, we'll get all the.
They really have difficult names in that series. I'll give you that.
But anyway, Jay Baruchel does a phenomenal job as Hiccup. I don't think they could have casted anybody else as Hiccup.
His voice is perfect for it.
Perfect.
It's like giving his face.
Well, especially his face in the first one, which is my fucking critique for the live action one.
You have to hold your tongue for that till we get to that movie.
Fine. I don't know. Hiccup, I think, is just the lovable idiot character that you follow along with the entire time that grows into...
Also an underdog.
Yeah, but he grows into an amazing leader with purpose and with care and with... It just, I don't know. I love the series for all it is.
I wonder, have you read the series at all?
I haven't read them.
No, it's by Cressida Cowell, I believe is her name. And the series, I think, is a long series as well. I have not read it. I did read the Book of Dragons. It was a really shiny looking one with like a blue dragon on the front.
I wonder why you read it.
Yeah, because it was shiny. But no, that's a really good book because it shows all the dragons in it and stuff. So it's a good choice. And I think, to add on to your thought about these movies, I think if a franchise is that good, it proves it if a park makes something out of it.
Oh, we're talking about Epic Universe again?
Epic Universe. I mean, they're making a How to Train Your Dragon section. Shrek, they had a Shrek section at Universal Studios at some point. Despicable Me, they have a whole Minions land.
Yeah.
So Kung Fu Panda, there was an idea to do something with it.
I mean, they're still doing the Universal Park in Texas for the kids.
Yeah, that'll have Kung Fu Panda. So, like, all those movies, they all have some type of permanent spot. It is, of course, they can change it at some point.
At Universal.
With the times. But the fact that they're making a whole land for How to Train Your Dragon just proves that it does have a lasting impression. And I know it's DreamWorks, so obviously it's easier to get the rights for it and whatever.
Yeah, but I also think, like, especially with them making the live action movie this year and that having its own set of issues, but like, I don't think anybody can touch this trilogy.
Or Toothless.
I mean, Toothless is also alone is like a character that is marketable and lovable and caring, and you can see that has his own reservations for shit. He's such a personality for a character that doesn't say a damn word.
Same with Light Fury.
Light Fury too.
Like, she's spunky. Like, she has...
Yeah, you're 100%.
You know, like, they have such good personality. All the dragons, yeah.
But, like, the fact that you can get personality shown through on animals that are typically ferocious and scary, but also have such a lovely, cuddly side to them all.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know that many movies that have done that, where you take these animals and you've made them these mythical creatures that are scary and devouring and, like...
Only one I'd give is, like, Pete's Dragon.
Yeah, but one, I haven't seen Pete's Dragon, and two, I don't know if...
the original... Well, it's a dragon. And the original...
I don't know how cuddly they look.
The original, very much. That was a live action, obviously. Elliot the dragon was animated. But he was, like, bright green and purple, really friendly, and, like, he had to, like, hide him from people.
The only other cuddly character that's an animal that I can think of right now is Paddington or Winnie the Pooh.
But they talk as well.
They do talk.
Yeah. I'm talking... The reason I mentioned Pete's Dragon, Elliot doesn't talk.
Yeah. But point proven. Like, I think How to Train Your Dragon has nailed it on the head when it comes to creating characters that are lovable, and it's every character. Even the characters that you are the most headstrong that you'll not like. Well, this minus, I think, the villains of some of them. But, like, a lot of the characters that you think you won't like, you end up loving.
Yeah. But I feel like you grow to like this one automatically anyway with Toothless, but...
no, because
not necessarily.
Well, you even said you weren't a huge fan of the third one.
I might not remember the whole third one. I might have to rewatch it.
Don't worry, we'll rewatch them all for the live action movie that's coming out, or at least we can rewatch the first one and compare. But yeah, guys, this is our animated list for what we would recommend if you want to get your kids to watch these movies. These movies are way better than Dogman.
Yeah, essentially, it's the reason why we went with this list or a list.
Honestly, like, it was part of the reason why, like. What we do every week is we try to think of what would be a fun second part of the episode. And so, like, when we did heist movies, or when we did... What did we do last week? Oh, we did cinemas, and then we did... I don't remember what we did the week before. Anyway, point is that... we did classic movie monsters. That's what it was. But the point is that for the second half of the episode, we try to do something fun, or something to deep dive in them. And as soon as we were talking about Dogman, we're like, I think it'd be fun to do animated movies. We saw Dogman, and we're like... We need to get kids on better movies than this.
Yeah.
It was immediately, that was our reaction. It was like, Dogman's fine.
Yeah.
but we need better movies.
Yeah.
And even if you look at within a year span, like The Wild Robot and Dogman are like leagues apart.
Yeah.
But even like you said, Diary of a Wimpy does the same thing where it's like book literally ripped from the book and thrown on the page, on the screen.
Yeah.
And it does a fantastic job.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah.
All right, ready to wrap up?
I guess so.
But like we've been saying for the last couple episodes is, guys, these are our opinions. Nothing is set in stone. We are not the be all end all. If you think Dogman is going to be your cup of tea, watch it, man. We want you to go. We're encouraging you to go. We want you to go to the theater. This is just our review because, hey, you know what? Movies are expensive and not everyone can afford to go, or people don't have time to go find a babysitter, or whatever. Like, if you guys don't have, like, if you want an hour and a half movie and, like, Dogman seems interesting, go watch it. But we would recommend Companion over Dogman, just saying.
Yeah.
But that being said, like, the reason why we do this podcast is to get you to go to the theater, right?
Yeah.
And we put this on Tuesday because Tuesday is cheap night. So, you want a date night? Go on a Tuesday. You want to go solo to the movies? Hell, before Cheyenne and I met, we both went to the theaters on our own.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I liked it.
There's literally no shame. We need to remove the shame of going to the theater alone.
I know. I don't get why that is a thing. Because, like, actually, in Dogman, when we saw it, there was a guy, like an adult, on his own.
Yeah.
Like, go off, Queen. Like, King, whatever.
Honestly, like, truthfully, if you want something to do and you want to go on a Tuesday, it's cheap night, we recommend Companion, but if you want to go see Dogman, and go to the theater.
They're honestly 3 minutes difference in time length.
Yeah,
as well. Dogman's 1:34. Like, it's not. Yeah.
Right. So, the other thing we want to say is we have a Twitter, we have a TikTok, we have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. What else?
Letterboxd.
Letterboxd is the one I always fucking forget. But we have Letterboxd, and this time, because I forgot last time, I'm going to post the picture of it on the screen. So that way you can just scan the screen and join us on Letterboxd because we post the reviews on Tuesday for all the movies that we've seen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think that covers all of it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with all your buddies, your pals, your friends, your ex-friends. Like,
your enemies, your enemies.
Ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends.
Whatever. Also, rate us on Spotify. But we're also not only on Spotify anymore.
Yeah.
I forgot. And so last week, I spent a lot of time trying to get it so that way, because we have a couple friends of ours that watch it on, or listen to it on Apple Podcasts.
Or listen to podcasts on
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
And so I've figured out a way to do it so that way it's on everything. So if you have iHeartRadio, if you have Apple Podcasts, Overcast, whatever. We're on a lot of different sites now. Just look up The A-Listed Mission and you'll find it.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in, catching up with us, getting your weekly dose of movie reviews, and
we'll see you at the movies.
There you go.
Bye.
Bye.